Hey guys, Ro here. Thanks for coming my way. Just want to say hey, and I want to talk to you guys really quick about criticism. I don't know if you guys know what criticism is, but it's everywhere, and it's really sad that it happens so much and so often and just so naturally all the time. But I went on YouTube and I try to find a little thing on criticism. Nothing. There was literally nothing on the internet, nothing on YouTube. I mean, there was like obviously definitions, obviously like universities, obviously all this stuff, but I felt there was really nothing for like me as a human to relate to another person in a conversation that was saying like, this is what criticism is if you didn't know. And I thought that was kind of silly. So I wanted to make this video about criticism and just kind of about it a little bit and see what you guys think, because I think it needs to be talked about. It's kind of one of those topics that just because it does happen so much and so often that, you know, we should know what we're really doing. We should know what we're really doing. So yeah, the first thing I wanted to mention about criticism is who it happens to. Obviously, it happens to all of us, no matter how old you are, no matter what walks of life you've been in, or, you know, what connections you have, or anything like that. I mean, you will be criticized. There is a job for it that criticizes people in all lights, no matter what. And I guess that's a great job. I mean, it would be really hard to say that my perspective and my point of view is right all the time, when I know it's not. I know that there's way smarter people out there than me, and I know that there's not so many smarter people out there than me, and that's okay, because I'm fine being in the middle. I don't know everything, and I'll never know everything. The world's constantly changing, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the world. We're talking about me. We're talking about you guys, the people. Anyways, so yeah, I just want to talk about this. And some of the few things that were really silly about criticism was the fact that it's called caveman brain. I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't freaking know that. And I guess it's been around that long that they call it caveman brain. It was literally meant to save your life in a situation that you needed to remember how to do things. Back before there were labels, back before we were picky about everything, back before we knew kind of what we were doing, it was at that point in your life where you needed to remember if those berries were poisonous or if that animal could kill you, and that saved your life. And people feel like, you know, the world is still dangerous like that, but it's really not. It's really not that bad. And when you keep looking at it in such a bad way and you keep saying bad things, and that's just what's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know if you guys have like bought a bag or, you know, just got something and now everybody seems to have it. That's how negative things are being perceived in criticism, and it's really not cool, unfortunately, just because that when I try to criticize you, I do it in the nicest way possible, but that's just me. I don't do it for a living, but I try to put myself in other people's shoes and realize that you should say nice things to other people, because they're a person too, and they have just as many feelings and right as you do to say whatever they want or take it however they want. But they shouldn't take it so badly unless you're being really mean about it. Then that's not criticism, that's just being rude or ignorant or however you want to throw that word in. But yeah, so the whole thing about criticism is some people, I believe we all have that one friend or know that one person that you have to keep your mouth shut because they can't handle criticism, and that's not fair, because, you know, at the end of the day, you're just trying to be a great human being to that other human being and, you know, help them out and try to give them a little bit of feedback that you think is good information. And it's not even like, okay, it's not even like you're telling them they're wrong, but then the fact that they get so offended makes you think that you're wrong and you doubt yourself. And that's even worse. That means there's something that started off positive ended up backslapping you and becoming a negative, and now you feel bad for you for saying something, and maybe because now you think you're wrong, and that's not okay, especially when you're just trying to help someone with your brain. But yeah, I know we all have those people, and I know it's hard to talk to them because, you know, they might be your best friend, they might be someone you just know, but you really just want to help them because they're your friend. Obviously, there's something really great about them where you're just like, I need you in my life forever. But you can't take criticism. I just want to be your friend and help you. But we're not just gonna keep talking about that. So back to the caveman brain thing. So the whole breakdown of this whole thing was kind of silly, just because there was only like a few episodes on YouTube, some people ranting about, you know, something happened to them, and it wasn't really talking about a criticism. It was just kind of like their 50-minute experience or like something like that. And I understand this is my experience and my opinion, but I really try to relate to people in like the general aspect when I'm talking about things, just because I know not everyone has been where I've been, and not everybody knows what I know, and you know, some people know more, but whatever. But yeah, just really talking about criticism, figuring out like why people do it is probably like the one thing I really want to know. I know I really try not to do it. I do criticize a lot of what I like to say fake people, but I don't know those people, so that's like bad on my part. I don't do it in public, but I do tend to do it on my phone a lot, especially on Instagram. I see so much Photoshop, it destroys my face. I literally look and just all day because there's so much Photoshop, and then I see all these comments that, you know, they look beautiful, they're amazing, and they do, but you guys are like not true to yourself like that. It's like, I don't want to offend you, but it's like you don't even really need to be there if you're gonna Photoshop. Like, you don't even need to work out, you don't even need a diet, you don't even need to do all these things, and you're selling like you, but you're not you. But that's me criticizing you in a different way. But to me, I don't think that's bad. It sounds really bad, it sounds really mean, but you should try and work a little bit harder. You should not have people, you know, smudge everything off your face and, you know, not take away all those wrinkles, because you know what? We're all not perfect. Ever. You know, we try to be individuals and be perfect, and then, you know, when we really need somebody else, we don't have anybody because we're trying to isolate ourselves from everybody. But I'm not going to talk about that. So, anyways. But yeah, we all tend to do it. We all criticize people, and it's just not fair. We shouldn't do that, and we shouldn't put people down for something that we think is right, because that's not right. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it to somebody, especially if the way they look or dress or how they do things. That's their life. They have that human right to do what you want with your body. You can live in America, you can live in Russia, you can live in Germany, you can live wherever you want, but you should know you are the only you in this whole world. Even if you have 5 siblings that look just like you, they are still not you. You have one brain. That is who you are. And if you criticize people, it's actually really funny because it's part of your frontal lobe it affects the most when you criticize somebody. And I think that's where your personality is. So for you to go completely out of your way and try to criticize somebody in a bad way, you're changing who you are into a bad person. Do you see what I'm saying? The more negative you see, the more negative happens, and the more negative you focus on is the more that it proceeds to be to you, because that's all you're looking at. But if you just maybe say it differently, or try to approach somebody a little bit nicer. It might help a little bit. And if you know that person can't handle criticism, it's okay. It's hard. Like I said, it's been around since we were, coming out goop and stuff, or whatever you believe that humans got here. So just don't be so hard on yourself, but just try to take a deep breath and realize, like, it's okay. Criticism's out there. It's gonna happen, unfortunately, but we should all just try to stop and think about being in that person's shoes we're talking about, and really think if that's the best thing for them, if that's something we actually really even need to say at all. I mean, there's people that just, oh my gosh, I literally can't hear what they're saying. I will be standing outside next to a light post, waiting for the light to change so I can cross the street, and it's always girls. Girls, I love you. You're gorgeous and beautiful and so damn sexy. But oh my god, sometimes when you guys get together, I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like these pitches of sounds, and like, I don't think words are really coming out, and I try not to criticize, but it's like, I don't understand, like, if you're even from the same planet. And it makes me feel kind of funny because I'm the same category as you. I'm human too. And I try not to catch myself doing that, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's that kind of sound. And it's like, I just can't hear what you're saying. It just sounds like tones. Like, there is not words being formed to articulate what's going on with your conversation. Not that I'm trying to eavesdrop and say, hey, you guys, I'm trying to criticize you for talking this way, but just, geez, I know I'm not the only one that sees this. I know I'm not the only one that hears those things. And I think a lot of stuff like that happens too with criticism, is we just hear what we think, or we see what we think, so we automatically assume we're right, or nobody has ever told us we're wrong, so why would I be wrong now? Or my family has been doing this their whole life, 20 generations, or like 3 generations or whatever, or I'm the 5th cousin of this person, this is how we've always done it. But you should just be a little bit more open-minded and aware that it's okay. It's okay for change. We're constantly changing. See that? No. Follicles. Whatever. Hair, skin, eyebrows, makeup, clothes, chapstick, piercings, tattoos. We're constantly changing. And our brains are constantly changing too. And we really need to try and, stick with it before we kind of just lose ourselves in all this technology. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about, was just criticism. And hopefully we'll figure it out. Hopefully you guys give me some feedback and we'll talk about it a little bit more.